Hello. It's hot. We require what is it? We require Vespine gas. We require additional minerals. Oi. Oh boy. I do not need oil anymore. The oil has been changed. I have changed the oil. Pray I do not change it further. Squirrels, man, they're mocking me. They're just like out, hanging out. Like I said, I'm noticing the wildlife more, so I get to see the birds, the baby birds, the teenager birds, whatever they are. And like you can see when the birds are fighting over something. Like there's food in some area, and one comes down to eat it, and the other one comes down and it tries to eat it, but they get kind of close, and one chases the other away, and then eats more of the food. And then you see like two birds sitting there eating right next to each other, like really close, and then the other one's just like yelling at the first one, and I'm like, they're not fighting, what is it doing? And then I realized its tail was short and it was kind of lighter colored, and I'm like, oh, that's the kid. Mom, I'm hungry. Mom. Good stuff. I was about to say something about California not having as much wildlife, and my first thought was, well, it just didn't. And my second thought is, well, I'm actually like able to see the stuff, like I notice it now. So maybe I didn't see it in the beginning, but when I think about it a third time, all of this just happens in a blink of an eye. It's why I jump around so much. Right. I was thinking that when I came out here, I had no notice of wildlife, period. But I still, while paying no attention to wildlife, I still noticed there was a lot more diversity of animals. Plus, I grew up in California too, so there's a lot of inputs and new stuff that took place while I was there. So there's English sparrows here too, but they're a minority, I think. In California, that was all there was. That's all I can remember. Them and seagulls and pigeons. That was it. At least in Southern California, my city area. But it's nice. It's nice to see the animals out here. Variety. I would say it's just more interesting now, but to be transparent, I'm pretty sure it's just because of the hunting. Like, I have I'm a very utilitarian, very practical person. If it doesn't affect me, if it doesn't have any import to what I'm doing, it just kind of doesn't matter. And when when a new idea is presented to me, my first question is this applicable to my current interests, or is it applicable to safety, provision, my kids, that kind of thing. Very practical. And if it's not, then who cares? There's a Sherlock Holmes where Watson is surprised that Sherlock Holmes doesn't know that the Earth revolves around the sun, and he's like, why would I care? Like, that has literally no impact or input on my work. It means nothing. And I have tweeted about this idea of what I'm calling knowledge anti-patterns, because it's almost, I think it is a form of confusion to be able to go to people and fill their heads with needless facts or pointless facts, or facts that they literally, not figuratively, cannot use. You know, facts about astronomy, or supposed, I should say, facts about astronomy that have absolutely no bearing on your life. You know, the fact that I came out of high school with zero ability to manage money. I couldn't even balance a checkbook. Like, I knew, like, the idea, the concept, but, like, to not know so many things that are just so basic to living life, and especially on the money, like, for the idea of money, it's so important. But, you know, Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492, all that garbage. So much stuff in there. So much stuff in here. Some of it sticks, and like, some of it I wish I could get rid of. But I call it an anti-pattern, because you're almost breaking the logical process. You know, if that trash can's green. Why is that trash can green? Why is the trash can shaped like that? Trash can's probably green. There are different colors of trash cans in this city. I've seen other trash cans of different colors. But that one, I don't know if it's a different shade. I don't know if it's a waste one or if it's green for, like, grass, for, you know, compostable materials, stuff like that. You know, you can follow, I don't know, I guess you would call it a rabbit hole nowadays. It's a derogatory term, like, oh, I was wandering, going down the rabbit hole of this crazy, insane idea. So, yeah, how about it's just, like, thinking about stuff? How about it's just, like, wondering about things? How about it's just, like, asking questions and figuring stuff out? You know, then you have some interest and some drive. And it might be that it takes a curious person to do that, and you can't educate a population. No, you can't educate a population. I don't want to talk too much about that's a mess, but you know, and if someone doesn't want to be educated about all this stuff, does it matter? I mean, I'm kind of coming around to the idea of being a plumber. Like, it seems very simple and very understandable. And, you know, it would still lend itself to some creative solutions, because there's always some weird layout that makes it so that you can't situate pipes. You know, you can't build things exactly right, or you need to fit an oversized tool in an undersized area. You know, there's always that kind of stuff, that weird stuff that happens. But, like, and it's still somewhat mechanical, but people need it. They need it, and they need it way more than they realize. And they need it more than you need auto mechanics. But does he know, you know, the amount of how old you would be if you lived on Venus? Does he know that fact? That science fact? Science fact is what is it? Oxymoron. Science fact is an oxymoron. Science is the pursuit of facts, but you never attain a fact. It's designed that way. It is a system of logic that is designed that way. So, sorry, science fact is a joke. But, like, who cares? And instead of looking at people and looking at other people's experiences and going, I want what that guy has. Why does that guy have that? You know, what makes this person so happy? I want to understand that. Looking at things in the world and pursuing them as you would any kind of interest, and going down the logical path of figuring out why these things happen and why things are the way they are. And then this is the part that really kills me, because I've been doing it a lot lately, and it tears down strongholds. Learning a thing not as a fact. You didn't learn a fact, but you learned the concept. The concept of supply and demand is something that can be applied to thousands, if not millions, of things in this world. Far beyond the reach of simple, economics and consumerism. Not even consumerism, just pricing, just market forces. But to take ideas that you go, oh, okay, I guess I understand, now I understand why that trash can is green. Now I understand why that trash can is shaped like that. So let's do a little theoretical work here. So that trash can's a different shade of green. It's shaped differently. Why is it shaped differently? Well, it might be shaped, it's probably shaped appropriately to be picked up by those little automated grabber things on the side of the trash can. All right, so why is it a different color? Well, it's possible they had older versions, maybe, that the newer versions are differently shaped. They are slightly differently shaped. I'm looking at trash cans now. I get to notice trash cans. Congratulations. Thank you, me. Thank you, me, for this, this thought experiment. So the trash cans change color. Why? What was wrong with the previous color? Did it look too much like another color? Well, imagine I did a little bit of research into it and found out that the trash can changed color around a certain period of time. And that was a squeak. And the time period that it changed in was a time when the city changed, sanitation groups. Okay, why did the city change sanitation groups? Did it cost too much before? Is it better priced now? What are you talking about? Then you can start to figure out things about why the city does the things that the city does. And maybe they changed it to another company that was more expensive. Why would they do that? Did they get more services out of it? There's all these, I keep saying rabbit holes. I'm gonna take it back, okay? It's rabbit holes. They keep going down these rabbit holes, and they lead to all these different places. And you get to learn lots of interesting things. You get to figure these things out. Especially if you're building things. There's so much, I joke about trigonometry, but I actually very recently had to use, while I was building keyboard designs, I'm like, I actually need a little bit of trigonometry here. But you wind up discovering these things, and they have pertinence, and they have context. They have context to what is going on in your life and the world around you. It makes a difference. And if you replace that with in 2008, Lexington, the city of Lexington, changed their sanitation department. Okay. And now there's a test coming up. In what year did Lexington change their sanitation department? I don't know. You told me to memorize this, and here it is. I've regurgitated the fact. I don't need it anymore. It's this concept of learning how to learn. I know if it's kind of a meme. I'm not sure. But it's something a lot of people are talking about now. Because people don't know how to learn. I don't know how I got on this topic. I was just going down the rabbit hole, man.